Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So 5 altcoins I think will be the best ones to pay attention to with potentially the most returns in the next few months. Before I do go into those, again, if you are tuning back in, thanks for coming back guys, really appreciate the support. Let me just go through Bitcoin and what I'm looking for at the moment. So if you watched yesterday's video, you're fully aware I was waiting for that ABC drop, which I think we've potentially bottoms now. So what I'm now looking for is that leg up I discussed yesterday. So I'm looking for that, either that C wave up. So we had the A, potentially the B bottom now. This would be a perfect reversal sort of point. C wave up to again 73.5 as a minimum. I'd say up to 73.3. If we get above this level, I expect us to carry on to 80,000, and I'll simply just hold along. So that's Bitcoin, so playing out exactly as expected. Again, similar with Ethereum. If Bitcoin is to pump, Ethereum will do exactly the same. So again, we had that rejection earlier from the range highs. We're looking for that reversal here. Again, you can see it pumping. We're going to be seeing legs up to 22.3. I'll be looking for all the way up to sort of 22.70. And again, if we stretch beyond 2300, we'll just continue to go up. So by the time I finish recording this video, I expect us to hopefully be playing out up to the sort of 22. So we'll revisit this shortly. So yeah, so what 5 altcoins would I be looking to touch? So TAO, of course, the AI goat. I've been trading this with a lot of success for the last few weeks in the private groups. Again, links in description. You've got the 3 weeks group, my partners. Again, if you can deposit, so it's 1,000 minimum. If you trade using the link, please do DM me, and I'll get you into the groups free of charge as long as you keep trading using that link. Again, do your research on the exchange. I've used them for numerous years myself. I've got the pay group, which got educational material. It's got more calls as well. They both have different calls, so they're both worth getting into. But I basically break down in those groups my sort of thesis, my ideas, and you will learn something from my charts. Okay, so back to it. So TAO. So again, we've again the other day I was saying about these retests here. I did expect us to come back to retest that breakout point. We didn't get it. It just shows how strong we are. And again, if you zoom out, we're starting to see the higher high print in here. So we're taking out this range high. So again, market structure's bullish. There's a lot of eyes on TAO. I would not be surprised in potentially the next few weeks if we continue to hold above the sort of 298 region, 300. We're going to see a wick up to 366, and again we'll be testing near enough 500. So again, if we do get that, we're going to be looking at potentially a 60% pump. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. In terms of entries, really simple. We just have to hold this level here. If we start breaking down below this again with acceptance back into the range, it's not a good sign for the bulls. We want to ideally, yeah, it's good there. Ideally stay above this wick here. So again, you can see potentially a retest sort of later if we get a sort of spike up, come back down, then up. Potential we could just go straight from here. But again, your targets are going to be, so again, it's the range high. So we'll be looking at as a minimum, I'd say about 410 up to 500. So keep an eye on that. Number 2, I'll be looking at FET. So Fetch AI. Again, it's another AI-based altcoin. For the time being, we've just been ranging. Again, it's been a fantastic altcoin to trade. I got into a long from here yesterday. Closed out just, well, I took some profits about the 238 region. Closed out as we started to come back down here. Again, I'll re-enter it if we sort of get above sort of 2.25 sort of cent region, so something like this. And again, you'll be looking for a minimum push up to 2.7, so potentially a 10% move off the bat. and then reclaim that straight up to 331. So again, that'd be a very nice trade. Again, market structure very bullish. You've got high consolidation above the breakout point. You really can't ask for much more. So again, we might dance them out for a bit more. We could see that back down, but ultimately I think we're going to be seeing 30 in the next few weeks. So yeah, that's Fetch AI. Number 2, I spotted this in the private group, or I mentioned it in the private group's APT. So what I like about this, again, it's a bit of an early breakout. What I want to see, so it's one of those that's got potential to move big in the next few weeks, but I spotted this sort of breakout early today. We're retesting as it stands the breakout point. As long as we hold above, I'd say worst case, yeah, I'd say $1.01 sort of cents. You want to hold above that. If we hold above that, so something like this, we're going to be seeing moves up to sort of $1.20 up to $1.30 and $1.40 potentially. So some big moves on that one there. Number 4, we're looking at hype. Again, if they keep playing their cards right, this is going to go to at least 100 in the next bull cycle. Okay, I'm not certain I wouldn't like to be certain on many sort of straight up plays, but I think hype is one of the strongest altcoins. TAO and hype are my 2. If I had to hold for the long term, it probably would be these 2, absolutely. So the trade, if you're not in at the moment, you'll be looking at, quite simply, if we can get above the sort of $42 target, you'd be moving up to 48 as a minimum, reclaim that straight up to 58, and then it's all-time high straight up. So the sky's the limit with hype. I will keep it updated. Again, the groups will be the first to know of any sort of entries I take. I did play this up quite nice as we had like the higher highs, higher lows. Took out the high here, again retested it, we re-entered here. I recognised this was like sort of take profit 1 target. I did close out, so we got the drop below the sort of range high, but we'll reclaim it now. So yeah, it could be another fantastic trade. Finally, ZRO, which has been another great trade. We're seeing, it's still early days, but since the October capitulation, we've seen gradual moves up, higher highs, higher lows. The main sort of resistance zone I want to see taken out is going to be this level here. I mean, how I identify sort of levels is just the wicks. If you see wicks reoccurring as an important order block there, which is this sort of range, $2.5 or $2.05, sorry, up to $3.20. So again, simple trade. If we reclaim $2.05, you could pretty much long safely up to 3.3 as long as we hold above that sort of point. And again, if we get above 3.3, we'll be moving up to 5.5 and then up to 7.1. So potentially be seeing 100% moves on these sort of plays if the market allows it. Which, yeah, it's looking strong, but again, it just depends on Bitcoin. If we push to 80,000, this is just going to go straight up. So yeah, again with Bitcoin, I mean, overall, I would love to see us sort of retest the 58 down to the 53 region, but I think best case, if we do manage to hold this sort of level here, reclaim the 73, we're going to be going up to the 80,000. If we reclaim here, all-time highs are, yeah, they're not a fairy tale, it really could happen, but until we start reclaiming, especially 80,000, it's such a key level. So if I break it down a bit further, so what we do want to see if the bottom is in, is to reclaim this sort of range low, which is the 80,000 region. If we reclaim it into here, again, it's the weekly naked point of control, so very important level. If we reclaim back into here, we're going to be hitting again the 93s, 105s, and from there on, it's just a straight move up to the 150s, I imagine. Yeah, early days, this is still a corrective structure until we see those breakouts. Do not assume we're going to go straight there. You have to sort of play cautiously. But in terms of what I've been, especially my groups, what I've been sharing, so we've had a very successful few days. I mean, what I keep doing this. So what I have played, I think it was yesterday. Basically, I recognised sort of bearish breakout and river, which was a I do get asked quite a lot about this one. So basically, yesterday I recognised. I was chatting to one of my friends who sort of coaches me, and we sort of discussed daily sort of updates and charting ideas. But we recognised a sort of shift in momentum. We sort of put in the lower high. It was this order block here. If we got above that, invalid, but we stayed below that, and we shorted it all the way down. So we done very well on that. Let me find it. It's a beautiful trade. Again, it's all marked out, super easy for you guys. So here, again, we had that sort of bearish divergence forming. First target was the sort of 21 region, and again, if we did lose that, it was straight down to the other targets. The 23.40 we had was the first one. As we start to break down, start taking 10% off the position. That's 4% profits. As expected, we continued to dump. So again, I took another 30% off. That was about 15% move at that point. And again, today, another 20%, half the position taken, but we made 20% profits on that move, which was ridiculous. And yeah, it's just recognizing trends. I shared a few sort of today to take a look at. So if you want to be a part of this, please do join the group. It'd be really good to have you guys in there. I will start sharing some like education material. If you're a sort of a new trader, I want to sort of like help sort of get your confidence up, recognizing sort of charts and reversal points, and just to keep it simple. You don't want to overcomplicate it. It can be very overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, for example, if I take a look at Solana randomly, it's a very similar situation to Bitcoin. Again, all we need to see to continue to those higher moves. Again, we had those reactions off this order block here, so the previous range high, which we just need to hold above this level. So again, zooming in, yeah, quite the drop, but nothing to be concerned about at the moment. So we had that sort of wick into the range low. So as long as we hold this sort of level here, so again, if we see something like this, sort of an ABC, we should then start seeing, again, if we did hold down here, you long up, you'd be looking at 91, that's it, but yeah, about 91 is your first take profit, 92, and just continue up. But as it stands, it's a nice shift up. It's a higher high, so we need that higher low now. So again, you always want to sit in three waves. We're getting a sort of push now. If that's like the B wave, get the C down to this order block here. So I wouldn't long here. Never long the first candle down. Wait for that sort of retracement. Look for the third wave down. So it's always an ABC. So think correction, think ABC. Never long the first wave down. It'll never just shoot up. It might do, but you want to see that sort of those subwaves play out. The idea is a C wave will flush out the sort of late, I suppose, shorts on the A wave. So again, you want to keep an eye on that. Sorry, late longs. I meant to say. But yeah, I mean, in terms of reactions, you always want to see these order blocks. Again, it's all about liquidity. So we took out the liquidity from this level here. So you could have shorted this upon seeing that. If we reclaimed it, that was your long up. Fill this FVG here, and we just go straight. So that's Solana, and then Bitcoin. Just before I wrap it up, yeah, again we're seeing that retracement. We've just got to see how we do on the bounce. That's quite a harsh drop, but yeah, it's a New York Open. It's always a funny place to get volatility, but yeah, no, as long as we sort of hold again the lows here, we're going to see those moves up. Ideally, we don't really want to lose this sort of level. If we do start losing here, we could come down again. If we start losing 69, it's really going to be a we're likely to see a new low come in. So I do, as long as we're holding above 69, my long from the other day I'm still holding. But a fresh long, you want to really be holding this level here. If we start closing below, it's going to be real touch and go. But if we do drop down here and hold, we may reverse off that. But I like this because we are literally seeing that sort of three wave down that I talked about. So again, this will be counted as the ABC. So again, if we can just hold here, we should then accelerate to the highs. And then looking at the range itself, so again we've got from the high to the low. Point of control, if we can start getting it back above that, again it'll then confirm those moves up. But as it stands, and then you've got the first sort of value area high is going to be this sort of high here. So again, from here on, first target 71.7, clear that, fill these sort of gaps here, the FVGs, we're going to be moving up to 73.3. So yeah, I'm hopeful. Just need to see the ball step in. So I'll wrap it up there. So I hope you guys have learned something. I hope my altcoins, obviously keep an eye on them. Obviously we'll track them over the next few weeks, but sort of from a market structure point of view, the volume point of view, and overall sentiment, I am bullish on those coins. Again, as long as we sort of hold those areas I talked about. Things can change so quickly in the market space. If we start seeing difference in structures and TAO, FET, hype, APT, ZRO, again we can then sort of reevaluate, but it all depends on Bitcoin. Something else you can also sort of keep an eye on to sort of keep track on potential reversals is the USDT dominance chart. So when this is bearish, crypto is bullish. When this pumps, crypto dumps. So just to show you, so the 17th of March, Tuesday, we started to pump. 17th of March on Bitcoin, we started to dump. So you see the correlation there. To the dot, you can sort of see it down here. 17th of March, 17th of March, and then the high, 22nd of March. 22nd of March, so yeah. Just for the people thought I was sort of making up a lie there. Yeah, it's just very. So when the USDT chart looks bearish, which this here is a bearish pattern. Again, we've tested this sort of level here. So again, this is why I do think Bitcoin will see a sort of new low. Reason being, this to me is it's an impulse up. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it's never crystal clear, but basically what I expect in reverse is this. So I expect USDT to come down to sort of this sort of level. If it does this, Bitcoin will pump to the 72, 73 region. So again, it'll be down here. Then we should reverse. Then as we're doing that, Bitcoin should start to crash to that new sort of low. So this is why I think Bitcoin will sort of drop hard after we pump to 72, 73. So again, always have a reason why. You know, I always like to try and justify my reasoning. So the reason we're pumping now is because this looks bearish. So this is a bearish pattern. You can't really go by volume, but again, as long as we hold below, if we start reclaiming here, yeah, Bitcoin will just continue down. But because we have rejected nicely, I do think we will continue further down while below this sort of level. But structure just makes sense. We've just had one candle down here. Normally, again, the first wave's fine, but you always want to see the second and third wave. So once we get down here, I will then look to, if we start to spike up, I will look to close my Bitcoin longs and look for shorts. So I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Please do, again, support has been amazing so far. Smash the likes, they really do help. If you can, comment as well if you like the video. Altcoins you want me to review in the future, I'll definitely take a look. And do check out my my paid groups as well. I've got a link in the description. The free group as well, again, it's separate, different calls, and the more you support me, the more I'll support you. Again, it's a $1,000 minimum contribution. As long as you trade with the link, you'll get free access if you want more sort of content, calls, educational material. Again, the pay groups you'll go to for that. All right, so yeah, take care, guys. Again, thanks again. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.